Hello, welcome to your first application video for application 2A-1. Our learning target today is that I can solve 1 and 2 step equations. Now today we're going to take a look at some word problems that involve those 1 and 2 step equations. So let's look first at number 1 from our application. Percy's bike rents bikes for $10 plus $4 per hour. Annabeth paid $30 to rent a bike. For how many hours did she rent the bike? So what I want to do first is I want to highlight my important information. We know that Percy rents bikes for $10, so no matter how far they're going to go, they have to pay $10 to rent the bike. And then they pay $4 for each hour that they have it. Now we also know that Annabeth paid $30 to rent a bike. So I'm just going to jot down what I know. We know we must pay $10. That $10 fee it takes to just get the bike. So we must pay $10. We know it's $4 per hour, but we don't know how many hours yet, do we? Alright, and we know that Annabeth particularly pays $30. Alright, what we're going to have to do is set up an equation to model this. So let's fill out what we know. We know that we have to pay $10, and we know that we have to pay $4 per hour. Now, when we're thinking in terms of math, if we're already paying $10, and then we are paying more money on top of that for each hour, we're going to be adding. So we're going to add to the $10 that we already had. We're going to have $4. Now, it wasn't just $4 once. It was $4 for each hour. We don't know how many hours. That's what we're being asked to find. So what we do in math for something that you don't know, if you recall from from unit 1, is we use an x. So what this is saying is that I'm going to take the number of hours that we have, which at this point is unknown, and multiply it by 4 hours and add it to the $10 it cost at the beginning. Now we know that Annabeth paid $30. So our total is going to go from over here on the other side of the equal sign. So now what we have to do is solve this problem. Remember, we are trying to get our variable by itself. We call it isolating the variable. We want to get Mr. X so that he's all on one side of the equation, all by himself. So to do that, we have to undo what we have going on in this. We have addition and we have multiplication. Now, if you remember, we worked through the order of operations backwards. So we want to get rid of the addition first. So we need to get rid of that plus 10, so we're subtracting 10. But remember, an equation is like a scale. Whatever we do to one side, we have to do to the other. So we're going to take 10 off from the right side as well. On the left, it's going to leave me with 4x because 10 minus 10 is 0. And on this side, it's going to leave me with 30 minus 10, which is 20. If we look, we still don't have our variable by itself. We still have a 4 attached to it. Remember, when we have a number in front of a variable like that, that's multiplication. To undo multiplication, we need to divide. And again, what we do to one side, we have to do to the other. 4 divided by 4 is going to give us 1x, or just x. And 20 divided by 4 is going to give us 5. Now remember, when we want to give our answer in context of the problem, our question was how many hours did she rent the bike? So this isn't just going to be 5, it's going to be 5 hours. And if we wanted to check this, we could plug it back into our equation that we had at the top. If we did it, we would have 10 plus 4. Now this time we know that it's 5 hours since we're checking our answer. And we know that she still paid $30. So we have 10 plus 4 times 5, which is 20. Everything else stays the same. And 10 plus 20 is 30. And we can see that 30 is indeed equal to 30. So we have checked our answer. That's a great thing about these solving problems is you can always go back and check your answer at the end. So just to recap, we highlighted all our important information and we jotted down what we knew. We took that and we wrote it into an equation. We solved our equation and got 5 hours. And then just because we like to know that we have answers right, we plugged it back into our original equation over here so that we could check our answer and see that everything came out right. Also, I want you guys to just go ahead and take a quick look at number 4. I'm not going to work this whole problem, but I just want to get you guys started on this because it's might be one that might be a little bit confusing for you. Now, we have a square that has a perimeter of 32 centimeters, and we want to know what is the length of its side. It doesn't give us much information here. So what I want to do first is just draw a picture to help you get started. So I'm just going to draw my square. Alright, and we know that the perimeter is 32 centimeters. Now if you remember, we dealt with perimeter sum in Unit 1. The perimeter is the distance around an object, so it's adding up all 4 sides together. Now what helps us to solve this problem is that we know that this is a square. And one thing about a square is that all 4 sides are the same. They're congruent. So I don't know what any of these sides are right now, but I know that they're all going to be the same. So since this is the first side that I'm looking at, I don't know what it is. I'm just going to label it as X. But since I know these are all the same, I can label the rest of these as X. And now I can use this picture to help me set up an equation to figure out what the length of each side is. I'm going to leave that up to you guys to figure out. I just wanted to give you a little starting point and nod in the right direction to help you get going. Alright, go ahead and finish up the application and take your first mastery check for Unit 2. See you guys in the next video.